Okay, we're going to jump right in. We have Emily Sutherland tonight, who's going to be leading our training. And not only is she one of my dearest friends, and I adore her she's just an incredible soul. She is a mama. She's a girl mama. She has two of the most adorable, amazing little girls, but just a little tiny bit more about her. I'm sure you all saw her speak from stage at Celebration. If you thought she crushed it up there, would you give me a 2 in the comments? Because she was freaking amazing on stage. I just knew that's where that girl belonged, right there on the stage. But her background is she's a master nutritional therapist. She's a hormone specialist, a holistic sexual healer. I think there's a song about that. I'm not sure. She soared to the top of the company, literally, you guys, in record speed. I was at Lauren's house when Emily hit executive. I will never forget it, in January of 21 or 22. I don't remember which year. But she's an absolute rock star. She is 3-star Golden Circle. She part of the Start 1000. And she hit 6 figures within her first year. So get a pen, get some paper, because she's absolutely going to drop some genius on us tonight. Being a mama with littles and being busy, you guys know what that's like. She is going to tell us all the goods on how she is managing all this and crushing it. So Emily, I'm going to mute me and turn it over to you, beautiful.
Sounds good. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited I get to be here. I'm so excited the baby's here. That's so exciting. I know, right? Everybody's like celebrating over that for sure. But I definitely wanted to jump on here. And there were some few things that Lauren was like, you got to train on that. You got to bring that up. And there's certain key things that I've done really, really well, and things that I've had to push really hard to activate my skill set in. So those are some areas that I wanted to be able to assist. And then in addition to, just on the front end of this, we like to do a little bit of a work it task. So work it task, the most simple one you've ever had. All I want you to do is call a current customer, or message or call, and simply say, thank you so much for being a customer. And thank you so much for shopping from my virtual store. It supports my little family. I'm so thankful. That's it. That's all I want you to do. So I'm going to mute. This only is really going to take 1 minute, 2 minutes. It'll be fast. So I'm going to mute myself. That's what I do. Just thank them. All right. Does everybody have that message? Put a 2 in the chat if you have the message. Done? Give me some thumbs up. Great. Perfect. Perfect. Well, something that I'm going to kick this off with, just take it for what it is. I am not an expert. This is not something I know a lot about, but I know I'm not the only one who's heard about this whole ChatGPT. So I wanted to quickly touch on this because it might have the accessibility, the availability to help you optimize your big business faster. So there's this open chat AI. You can get on your phone. There's ones that are on phones that are paid for. There's ones that are on just your desktop. And there are certain things that I've typed in out of simple curiosity. So one that I just did, weekly health post ideas surrounded around isogenics. That's it. So how simple is that? all of a sudden it planned it. And yes, I do want you to use your personal touch, but at the same time, Transformation Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Fitness Friday, Superfood Saturday, Self-Care Sunday, meal prep tips, ingredients spotlight, hydration hacks, gut health focus, ask an expert, client testimonials, and then Isagenix different lifestyles. I was like, well, come on. So I've used it for a lot of different things. So take it for what you will. Again, not an expert. I just see that there are some values for people who are just starting in this, who are not quite knowing what to post and how to do it. I thought it was massively, massively valuable. So, but essentially when ChatGPT, so I'm not sure about the app. Yes, I'll put it in here really fast. Let me do that. It is chat.openai.com. So, yes. Make sure that, you'll make your own little profile. It starts to customize it to you. Lauren and Ryan were both using this and asking it the same questions. And ironically, it still was coming up with something that was uniquely them. And I'm like, well, that's a little creepy. But at the same time, it does start learning you. Something that assists you in maybe optimizing a post if you don't have the time, getting some tips and tricks for eating healthy, getting tips and tricks for all these different things so you can provide value, because we know so much of your followers come when you provide value, something valuable. They love that. So let me pull my notes back up here, but essentially that's the big one behind that. But I personally want to talk about time blocking. Not that exciting, but honestly, when you have a crazy mama lifestyle, this is what I have to do, because it's running from here, then getting Hazel, then getting this, then going there. And this is our life, and it's okay. And everybody has a crazy life. What is the answer that everybody says? How are you? Really, really busy. Everybody says that. Really, really busy. But at the same time, you can do this in a way that allows for you to incorporate it within your lifestyle. And how many times has somebody heard the excuse, I don't have time for extra in my life, which is why I'm not going to work this as a business? How many? Like so many times. I don't have time. I'm capped right now. It's not going to happen. So if you can set some clear ideas on how to time block, how to optimize the pockets of your time, because sometimes that's all you have, and it's okay. If you quickly pick up your phone and be able to make those calls in the tiny little pockets, it's incredible what you can do for your schedule. Essentially, with setting all of this into motion, you have to be very clear on why you're doing this. You have to. And I know it sounds very repetitive, but essentially it comes back to the why and comes back to the reasoning why you're doing this. And I did this on another call, that I'm going for a goal of a basement. Woohoo, so exciting, right? Oh, well, it's kind of cool. But at the same time, when I bring the emotional bit to it, when I attach, the furnishings and like picking out a couch, that's fun. But when I bring the emotion of my mother-in-law and my father-in-law being able to walk up Christmas morning and sharing a cup of coffee and having my kiddos open up Christmas, there's something here. It brings something more, and you have to attach the emotion. It's again, peeling that layer of attaching the emotion. Why do you want it so bad? And having that posted, but be clear on those, because otherwise you're not going to stay focused in your busy, frustrated life. It's too much. It's too much to keep track of. And essentially, so prioritize the most important tasks. This is the most important thing of how to time block. Make sure you know, okay, obviously family comes first. I get that. Then you might have another job. Maybe that comes second. Who knows? For me, this is my number one. I'm capable of doing this constantly and I love it. But I know that my kids, number one, this is number two for me. I have to be able to prioritize what is the most beneficial within those pockets of time. So family time for me between 4 and 7. It's okay. I need to know that. And then I have my little time slots between. I get a little pocket of time at the gym. I get another little pocket of time here, and being able to set and plan that schedule ahead. Using your time, your little short bursts of time, whether it be, hey, I'm on the road right now. Just flip through your phone, scroll, and call. And just call. How are you? It's been such a long time since I've talked to you. How are you? If you really don't have like a set task that you'd be doing at that time and you're stuck in traffic and you're make the most out of the time. We always have little pockets of time that we can most definitely capitalize on. And then setting yourself a little bit of a realism. Hey, chances are every single time my daughter takes forever getting out of school because she wants to play. So I'm not going to take a call right after that. I have to get her home. I have to get her fed, and then I can do the calls. So making sure you have realistic expectations, knowing based off of their lifestyle and your lifestyle to be able to accommodate, whether you're a mom or not. Things get thrown in your bucket that you did not expect, and it's okay, but you need to learn how to curve it and go around it and be able to bounce back up. But one thing that Lauren taught me that I absolutely love is color coordinating your calendar. So making sure that anything in red is top priority. It must be done. And setting out, I have my 15-minute window where I do my reach outs, and I do another 15-minute window where I do my follow-ups. And I do another 10-minute window where I set out some ideas for my posts or team recognition. I have to schedule it or it won't happen. In addition to scheduling some breaks for you time. I schedule out right now, and I've been really due diligent about it. Take a minute, go walk in the grass, go ground myself, go take a deep breath. Because as much as we are in front of the computer, how many times I got to do a reel, I got to do team recognition, and then I make sure have to, oh, wait, this person texted me, I needed to get back to them. And you have a gazillion messages coming in from the team call, and you're a team leader. So you're trying to be on it. You're trying to connect to them and being able to be that person. You are only one person, and it is okay for you to take a minute and block off certain times, but also tell your team. So my team knows between 4 and 7, I pretty well am not around much. I'm just not. If they need me, they can pick up the phone and call me, but that's dinner time. That's getting the kids to bed. I cannot. It doesn't work. So make sure that they have clear expectations so nobody is feeling disconnected from you. Nobody is feeling like they're, being left behind, and being very transparent with your team on your availability. Hey, during this area of time, I'm not so much in touch. In the mornings, I'm here. In the afternoons, in the evenings, rock on. This is my schedule. And some people don't want to do calls at 8 p.m. at night. Me, let's do it. I'm going. Like, that's when my brain is on and I'm on fire and I'm ready to go. But you have to know who you can loop in with being able to connect. And I mean, there was a woman on my team who had opposite schedules. So every single time I knew that she was going to be texting me ridiculously early and I was going to be texting her late. And I was like, can you just make sure your phone is on silent? She's like, oh, I do that anyway. Okay. So that's just clear communication. So I'm not blowing her feet up in the middle of the night. And it just makes your working relationship that much better.
Hey, Emily.
And then limit your multitasking. And I looked this up, but when you multitask, you can lose up to 40% of your productivity. 40%. So let's just cut that in half. Let's just say it's just 20%. Who wants to lose even 20% of their productivity? There's too much to get done. And there's so much. Ooh, Erica, I love this. I love that you shared that. I'm going to download that right now. Thank you for that. Same thing. Yes, you are so the best. And I have it color coordinated like this as much as humanly possible. It's making sure red's non-negotiable. Obviously having that yellow, okay, I can do it. And then green, I'd like to get to it, but it's not mandatory. And then I do family times as different colors. So thank you, Erica, for that. That's awesome. But limit your multitasking, because even if you're losing 20% of that, it's not worth it. We are a high functioning world. And if you want to be competitive in this space or any space for that matter, you have to level up. You have to push yourself harder. You have to maximize every little ounce of time that you possibly have during that production period. I'm not saying that you need to be working from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. I'm not saying that has to be the case, because when I touched base with a lot of kind of my new building leaders, I said, really, how many hours have you locked in to make? Most of them were making about $1,000 when they first started, $1,000 each month. And I was like, for the last 3 months, what would you say? They on average were telling me, oh, maybe like 5, 10, 15 hours per week. Or I'm sorry, per month. I said per week, per month. And I was like, what? Is that it? That's it. So if you can manage somebody's expectations to let them know that you're not going to monopolize their time. Yes, if they want to go to the moon and they want to make bananas money, yeah, there's a lot more connection. You better loop myself in. But if there's some actual drive to get that car payment paid off, then let's just keep the consistency. And let's teach you how to time block, how to lock it in, and how to prioritize your schedule to hit your goal. I have a teammate who's like, I just really want to be able to take my entire family to a lobster dinner. It doesn't seem like that much for some people, but for her at that point, it doesn't work. I'm like, okay, I want a picture of whatever lobster dinner restaurant you want to go and your family. I want to know this. And I will remind her. So do you think grandma will be really excited when you take her to lobster? And then it reinvokes that fire within her to keep that drive and keep that consistency going. But experiment with this, because I did this over and over. And first it was on like a hard copy cover. I don't recommend that. Then it was being a digital. Then it was I'll time block during this period, maybe this period. And then why am I scheduling in me time? That seems obsolete. No, for me, I have to do it because I realize I get left behind. And then I don't have anything left in my tank. You have to be able to keep filling that tank. And as mamas, so oftentimes we keep giving and we keep giving, and it's a lot. But when you can take a moment, and even if it is today, I got a pedicure and I wrote a bunch of emails to send out about my Super Saturday that I have that I have going on here. And I multitasked, but at the same time, I needed that. Oh my goodness. Dads too, for sure. They do not. How many times I've told my husband, I said, you need to just go golfing. Like, just go. You need to just go. It's your time to go. But the same thing, it's hard because he doesn't schedule. And if it's something that I can expect from him, he's going to be way more likely to do it because it's already on the schedule. And he knows that I'm expecting that from him too. But experiment with it, experiment with the consistency of it. And then also don't be afraid to delegate, because there are certain teammates who are, let's say, incredible at Canva. And then certain teammates absolutely suck. then there are certain teammates who have skill sets that you can be able to tap into and utilize it, because there's no reason why you have to be the know-it-all and the jack of all trades to every little tiny thing. I'm utilizing a teammate right now. He has done events after events after events. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm doing it. I'm going to rock it and I'm going to do the best I possibly can. Help me. He's like, okay. So he came with me. We went and we toured different places. Use your team. There's so many amazing people that you get to coordinate and connect and jive with. Make sure you're using those different tools to keep this consistency up. And then avoid overcommitting. I feel like everybody does this. And I know I did, and I have, and I will probably still consistently do it sometimes, but I've gotten a lot better at saying no and protecting my time, because it's so important. I've gotten a lot better at taking a minute to prioritize the most important thing at that point in time. When I have somebody blowing up my phone, hey, I need you right now. Hey, something is going on. And I've let them know between 4 and 7, I'm not typically around. You need to take the minute to just put the phone down. And it's hard. And it's really, really, really difficult. But many times those teammates will go into the group threads, because that's what you've coached them to do. And they usually find their own answers right then and there. And they're like, oh, never mind. I've had that happen so many times. And it's like, take a minute if you need it, and you can take a step back, protect your time, and avoid overcommitting into so many different things. So one of my favorite things is sprinting. And I do this down to even just working out. I don't want to be on the treadmill for a long time. I want to do a couple sprints and sweat my butt off and then get off. And I push myself as hard as I can, so I can't even breathe. This is what I have loved with this company, because they put so much money on the table and they allow us to be able to rake it in. So please realize that you have that tool of being able to go to every single contest and see what ones you can capitalize on. Please capitalize on all of them. If there's money on the table, do not leave it on the table. It is there for the taking. And these contests are legit amazing. So tell me, who's all going for Costa Rica? Give me a 5 in the chat. I knew. I mean, come on, it's this team. Everybody's going to be doing it. I love this. Yay! I know I am, but immediately I made up my mind, and it goes back to setting that calendar, knowing what you're doing. I made up my mind, I'm doing this. And as soon as I do this, all of a sudden, it's like the cosmos change, because I can feel it. And write it. I know this is the biggest board ever. Write it out. Huge. So I know what the heck is going on, and I know what points are what. And I'm writing in my teammates, and I know how much we all have together to accumulate what we need to be competitive in this space. There's only 10 teams going. So yeah, heck yeah, we got to push, and we got to push hard. But if you do not have it tracked, diligently tracked, you're not going to see this on the constant. Also, I have little sticky notes that say Costa Rica, baby. And then I have the date, but I set the date. I have it by 1 week, pretty much the September, about September 25th, because I'm pushing to get as max amount of points by September 25th. I do not set it for the actual date. I'd always push it 2 weeks before. I also highly suggest that you, whatever goal it is on how many enrollments that your goal is, up it and double it. And I know that sounds audacious, but every single time Lauren did this to me, hey, I'm going for this 5 cycle bonus. She says, bull crap, you're going for the 10 cycle bonus. And I was like, oh, okay, a little more pressure. She's like, you got it, up it. Because you have to be competitive, especially with this Costa Rica trip. And who doesn't want to go to Costa Rica? Let alone the amount that you're going to be able to create depth and duplication in these ridiculous pools going on right now. I mean, these 5K pools are incredible. They're incredible, but you have to build deep, deep, deep into the team. So make sure it's tracked, number one. Make sure it's around your house to remind yourself, number two. And tell everybody in your team, strangers, your family. I have told my family that I'm going to Costa Rica. I've told my daughter that I'm going to work hard over the next couple months. But if mommy hits her goal, then guess what? She gets Aurora to come to her party in October. And that's what she wants. And it's something, even if I hit my goal or not, she's still going to get that. But it allows for her to understand I set goals. And it allows for her to see that I'm working towards so much more and I'm driving to the biggest goal. And I'm not going to stop. And it's okay. And, you know, hey, just be lenient with mom while she takes a step back and works her business a little bit harder. And my husband, it's the same. Hey, you have a full day of golf. Like, give them rewards at the end of it. Allow them to enjoy the fact that you have just pushed and been dialed in. You get a full day of golf, a ridiculous home cooked meal, and I will make the really yummy chocolate chip cookies, not the healthy ones that I constantly butcher. Those are the ones that I keep trying really, really hard. If you have a good recipe, please send it to me. But that alone, making sure people know and that your family is 100% in, and your team keeps reminding you, just like I was reminding my teammate, how's that lobster dinner going to taste? Is it going to taste amazing? I want to know. But also, here's something that I also really encourage you to do. Take 1 to 5 minutes. That's it. 1 to 5 minutes. And allow yourself to feel what it's going to feel like to jump off that plane, what you're going to be wearing, grabbing a hold of your dearest and nearest friends, celebrating in this huge joy, sipping on that delicious mimosa. Like, I want the biggest smile on your face as you resonate these emotions and these feels. Because if you, again, are attaching, hey, I bought something when we went last time from the AH. So most definitely allow yourself to connect to that deepest feel that makes you create that joy right here in your heart, because that's going to make you work so much harder. So much harder. It's going to make you delegate that time, and it's going to make you prioritize what the heck you have to offer. Like, you have the most amazing gift to offer the people. Keep reaching out. So yes, between your short-term and long-term goals, you need to make sure you know what you're going for, 1000%. But setting a minute to taste the mojito, to imagine what the scenery or the feel of the ocean is going to feel like, that, it's so big. It's so big. And seeing your goals every single day, all around you on your computer, everywhere. And then making sure that your schedule is ridiculously packed. If you're going for a goal, you need lots and lots and lots and lots of FaceTime contact with lots and lots and lots of people. So how are you going to do that? You're going to join mom's groups. You're going to join dad's groups. You're going to go and do a weekend warrior workout class that you have never done before. I kid you not, I did a weekend course with Erica, and there was just the most amazing connections. There was quite a few ladies there. We did brunch and a ruck workout, which is like that pack. I was an idiot that read yoga. I don't know how. It was the next week. I showed up in flip-flops, but I still rocked that workout. I still did the best that I could in flip-flops with doing this jumpy squat bouncy thing. But I made some amazing connections. And there were just some really, really amazing people that I've now looped in with Erica, and we're both working on together. Keep looking on Facebook for these events. There are an obscene amount of them. Keep looking on any sort of networking events everywhere. They are everywhere. Use it to your advantage, even on your Facebook. Hey, looking for different networking events. Hey, looking for different workout events. Hey, you will get engagement just off of that. And let alone that's another post for you. So allow it to help boost you and create bigger depth within what you're naturally doing. So, I mean, coffee and collagen. This is something I'm talking to a local place here. I want to do literally education, and then of course have them sample the collagen, education on collagen. I'm going to have a room set aside, and then have coffee, donuts, whatever set aside for people who want to learn about collagen. I've done a lot of research on collagen. Heck yeah, let's do this. I'll get some slides up. I'll put them up. What the heck is collagen? Why is it all the rage? I mean, make sure that your schedule is so ridiculously packed. Host, and then go deep into your team to host some more. These don't have to be fancy. So one of the best ones that I ever did was a backyard event. She had trays of cookies and trays of random foods, literally random randomness, and a whole picture of margarita. Every single person signed up. I was like, wow, okay. And it was like 12 people. I was like, okay. Not what I expected, but this is awesome. But we evoked emotion into these stories. She's like, dude, she was bouncing around. She says, you should feel my backside. There's cellulite. The cellulite is gone. And I was like, just because she brought that energy. And yes, she was asking people to feel her backside, which was hilarious. But because she's like, it's firmer. So having that joy, all of a sudden it was like, yeah, every single person wanted to enroll, which was crazy. But asking boutiques, asking salon owners, asking a climbing gym like my girl Amber did, set up a table and ask them if it's okay, we can do a little thing, education to their clientele, and offer some free cutting edge health and beauty samples. That's it. No, they do not have to be enrolled, but it allows you to get in front of people. Another little tip to that, see if there's a boutique or a space that is outside of a farmer's market. So you naturally are going to get more foot traffic during that time, and say, hey, I'm going to blast you out on social media. My whole team is going to blast this event out on social media. It's going to help boost your business. And maybe we can keep doing this in the future. I just think it would be so great to be able to do this together. Let people know what's in it for them so they can really see what's going to help drive. And then going deep in the tree. So I want you to go to past customers. I want you to offer cash incentives. I want you to, hey, I'm going to give back this towards you because I know that you were such a loyal customer for such a long period of time. I would love to offer you this. If you wanted, we have this deal going on, that deal going on. Let them know about it, please. And then in addition to touching base on them and saying, I know you never wanted to work this business before, but if there's ever a time to jump in with Isagenix, it is now. We have a 3-step simple duplicatable system. Simple, proven, easy products that are science-backed to the core. And then having it be that all you have to do is share a 3-minute video. These 3-minute videos are priceless. And the before and afters essentially sell themselves. And there's a huge cash influx coming. So the bonuses are bananas, and they're on the table for people just starting out, and they're on the table for tenured people who have been in it forever. You got to be able to see that this is, if there's ever a time to do this, oh my gosh, there's so much growth happening right now. Lock those people back in. allow them to be right back into that tree and really, really show them that the depth, hey, oh my goodness, look who's in their tree. Look how many people are below them. Tell them that. Say, do you even know, since you've been enrolled with me, like you can get your account going again, and you have this many people beneath you automatically. No, that doesn't count for re-enrollment if it's over 6 months to have them re-enroll, but just based off that, people are going to be a little more piqued to look deeper into this business because they don't quite get it. But what does that mean? There's points and there's people beneath me. What does that mean? And then you'll be able to kind of explain the depth and the duplication behind this. But also you need to post like your pants are on fire. Keep posting and keep posting, because you need to let people know that your business is open. You need to let people know that you're there to provide content that is very, very valuable. Allowing people to know and step in to, hey, this girl actually knows what she's talking about. This guy actually has some really good workout tips. Holy cow, look how strong he is. Allow them to get and gain some really good education. They'll naturally start following you. And yes, as much as the reels take time and they're hard and they can be challenging, get to know it and get to know it well, because without a fail, when you post reels, you get so many more followers. I know that everybody, I mean, Erica is like the queen of the reel space. I know that. And she has done so much education. I've been following all these different people, and I've been diving deep into that of I've just got to prioritize it, as these stagnant posts are not driving business anymore. They're just not. So you have to be able to do. And then something I learned is have a catch that's like 30 seconds long and move within that first 30 seconds. So having a catch, and even if it's doing this and setting the phone down and keeping talking, but say your catch, know exactly what you're going to say. There's another thing that you can look up on ChatGPT. What are some really great catches for some real ideas, some health real ideas, isogenics real ideas, some network marketing real ideas? What are some really, really great catches? And then, yeah, she totally, Holly and Erica are totally taking that. And then making sure that your reach outs are tenfold. We're not going for two reach outs here. We're not going for 5 reach outs here. We're going for 10, 20 reach outs a day. If you want to maximize your business, if you want to constantly keep pushing towards this one sprint, no, this is not like you have to do this 24/7. You're going for a sprint. You're going for a goal. You're going to exhaust yourself to the point where, yeah, it might be a little hard to breathe. It might be a little too much and overwhelming to handle. I have a lot of balls up in the air right now, and maybe they'll drop, but I'm going to do my hardest to keep every single one in the air. So loop your people in, let them know what the heck you're up to, let them know you're going for that goal, and drive deep and allow yourself to reach it with the utmost joy ever. So I know that we want to keep it right at that 7:45, and I'm going to wrap this up. And thank you for all who came. And yes.
JM, I'm gonna grab it back. And is it okay if I just ask a couple of fast questions?
Go.
All right, awesome. One of the big things people wanted to know is, what is your tool for time blocking? Are you just using your calendar on your phone?
Yep.
Okay, and then
so I just use my I do not like the Apple one because I don't like the color coordination. I like Google Calendar. I know a lot of other people utilize different ones, but I like Google Calendar that allows me to time block out certain times, and they just barely have a time where you can section out time where people can schedule with you during those windows. I'm starting to figure that out as well. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. I loved that you said, let your team and your family know your off hours, like let your family know their off hours, like when they're not going to have you because you're working, and let your team know your off hours when you're going to be with your family. I think that's awesome. And I personally had a question. I didn't see this come up in the comments, but you said protect your time and learn to say no. that I think we all probably struggle a bit with that, or at least a good majority of us. So how do you determine what you say yes and what you say no to? Like, is there a filter? Is there like some kind
If
of gauge?
honestly, that there's a lot of there's a lot of filters to it. If it's not going to serve me, and there are certain people, let's just say, I'm going to bring it right back to business, and specifically in this business, there are certain people that you push out to and you've been there for and you've been there for, and it's kind of pulling the dead weight, and then all of a sudden they loop into you and they're demanding your time immediately. They want an answer immediately. But you were there to help them hit certain goals, and all of a sudden they kind of floated away. Then you can't demand my time in the span of a quick second.
Okay.
I need you to prioritize this. If you've told me that you're locked in and you're going to the top with me, I need to know this. Then I'm going to hold you at a certain caliber. So heck yeah, there's a reason why, thank goodness, Lauren and yourself answers my calls, because you guys know I'm pushing.
Perfect.
And there are certain people that I need to prioritize my time to, because you can only really delegate your time to 5 people max, in my opinion, where you really have those 5 top leaders where you can dial in, you can help them grow, you can help them excel. If you go up in 10 and 20 people and you're spreading your time that thin, it's hard.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a really great tip, because I think we all want those people to come around and they show us, right? It's not what they say, but it's what they do.
Always.
And they show us. So I think that's awesome. The last quick question I have, and then we're all going to thank you so much for all the gold and the pearl wisdom that you have shared with us. But you held up your big whiteboard. That in front. I use whiteboards too, but maybe not everybody has whiteboards, but just in 10 seconds, what is like on the Costa Rica trip? What are you tracking on that whiteboard? Or if that was the 5K relay?
I essentially have it printed out, or like that printout. So I have the enrollments. I have my personal enrollments over here of how many, with I'm writing out my names. So I know to keep looping back into them. I also with the customer reorders, I want to keep track of that when their reorders go back out, of how many BVs it really is, and going deep into view my team, knowing where it's at, knowing who's on my team and who's going for this with me. So I know exactly who I'm looping into on the constant to push and to drive and to loop back into. Yeah, I mean, there's accountability here. I remember talking to Lauren. First off, she says, you need to set your team high. You need to pick the highest leaders. You need to be able to loop into those who are the A team, and not be kind and accommodating to the B team and the C team. It's not about that. It's about a goal. And it's about picking the A team. The Super Bowl is not going to pick the B and C team. It'll never happen. So if you want to go to the top, you need to lock that in. And so we set a goal just before locking in the teams. If you made 1 consultant and did 3 enrollments by this date, then you were in on the team. If you didn't, and it wasn't going to happen. And I was like, that's a great drive. It's excellent. And heck yeah, I pushed hard. I did it.
I love it.
I have to be a leader just like they.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got to work. That's why it's called a team. So if you don't have a whiteboard, I think Holly Kirsch and someone else made a beautiful tracker. You can use a spreadsheet. The point is, you don't have to be fancy. You can scribble it on a whiteboard, scribble it in a notebook. But if you track it, if you don't track it, how do you know if you're going to hit your goal, right? So you got to track it. I love that. And that was one of my biggest lessons in this business, is you got to track it if you want to hit it, right? If you don't know what the target is, you're never, ever going to hit it. So I love that. And I just want to honor you and thank you so much for taking time to share. You guys, this girl had like 4 billion points in the 5K relay for August. So I would listen in on what she's saying, because when I saw how many points she had, I was like, holy heaven above, the girl's on fire. So Emily, thank you so much for everything you shared with us tonight. Thank you everybody for hopping on. Emily's got a super Saturday coming up out in Colorado. So if you know people out there,
Yes, please loop in.
you
Can I? So September 30th, anybody, please loop in. I'll have the event right up later. I'd love for anybody, local teams around to jump back in.
It would be a blessing to
amazing.
you and your team to get them.
The support will be amazing too.
Saturday. Oh,
There's my
she'll
little
be
one.
there too. Whoop,
Night.
whoop. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Emily, you're amazing. I love
Good
you.
night.
Thank you so much.